Good morning, everyone, and good afternoon in Finland. It's just at noon. So my name is Maarit Tihinen, and I'm working as a principal lecturer here at Lapland University of Applied Sciences, Finland. And today I will moderate and host this webinar together my Tourbit project partner, Sandra de Puigfora. Please, Sandra.
Hi, hello, good morning, everybody. So I am Sandra de Puig. I am working for the Catalan Tourism Board. I am a project manager of Tourbit. Welcome on.
Great. I think that you can share our schedule about today, because our schedule is quite tight today, and we have here our presenters, Jenni Janhunen, Finland, and Urska Stark-Peseni from Slovenia, and Simon Katz from Belgium. I think that you can introduce yourself in beginning on your own presentations. So I think that Sandra, you could give us a short introduction about this our project, Tourbit project.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you, Maarit. Okay, so the Tourbit project is a project that it's co-funded by the European Commission, concretely by the COSME program, which is the program on competitiveness and of small and medium enterprises. It's a project that started recently in January this year and will last 30 months. We are leading the project at the Catalan Tourism Board, but together we have a consortium of 7 other organizations, and we are located in 7 different destinations that we call, because we are working in countries, but we also work in regions. So within the partnership of Tourbit, there is the Barcelona Chamber of Commerce, also based in Catalonia, as we do. We have Welcome City Lab by Paris & Co, which is located in France, in Paris. We have Arctur, that is located in Slovenia, and they are leading the Tourism 4.0 a cluster in Slovenia. Then we have the cluster Hospitality Brussels, which is hosted by Hub Brussels, which is located in Brussels, and they're working in Belgium. There is also the Iceland Tourism Cluster located in Iceland, the Lapland University of Applied Science, where Maarit comes from, and then in Finland, and then we have NEST, which is the Tourism Innovation Center that is located in Portugal. So the goal of the Tourbit project is basically to support the acceleration of the to support the acceleration of the tourism SMEs of Europe and to boost also the innovation. And the idea is that during these 30 months, so more or less 2.5 years, we will be developing a transnational and cross-ecosystem support scheme that is based in 3 different pillars. These 3 different pillars relates to a little bit the different phases of this support that we will be providing to the tourism SMEs. We have the pillar learning, that here the idea is to provide inspiration on what are the opportunities of digitalization and innovation. Then we have the pillar based on building, that here what we aim is to fostering connections and enlarging the network of tourism SMEs with the tech community and also with all the startups world, let's say, so that they would be also able to work with other ecosystems in order to enlarge the business opportunities that they have. And then we will be working on the last phases, that is test and implement. And here the idea is to provide direct support to tourism SMEs by giving financial support mainly. The different technologies solutions that we are addressing in the Tourbit project are the ones that you are seeing in the screen: data analytics, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain, virtual reality, augmented reality, and cybersecurity. And each of these topics are the theme of this type webinars that we are having. So we already had one webinar on data analytics last week. This week is about augmented reality and virtual reality, and next week and the following until mid-July we will be addressing each of these technological solutions. These technological solutions were identified at the beginning of the project when the project was being written, so it was already in 2021. So now, of course, these technological solutions have been updated, and maybe in the future we will be addressing some others. Like now we are hearing a lot about metaverse, but for the moment in the project, these are the ones that we are going to focus on. The target group of the Tourbit project is mainly the tourism SMEs. So the main beneficiary of the project is, of course, the tourism SMEs, to whom we aim to provide this support on digitalization. But of course, we aim to be working and cooperating with these startups and technological providers. We are also teaming up with local, regional, national tourism boards, with business support organizations, with investors, mentors, other knowledge partners. I could be networks, for example, and tourists and local communities. Here you have a very general summary of what are the kind of services that the Tourbit project offers to the tourism SMEs. We have been working very much in developing an assessment tool about the digital maturity of these tourism SMEs. So is what we call the Digital Readiness Index that has been launched now recently. We are running this deep dive and go digital skills sessions. So these are a set of webinars that are going to take place along this year. We have launched also this online Tourbit community with the idea is to assemble tourism SMEs experts in digitalization and also on sustainability. So there is a space online where we can connect, exchange, and share experiences. We will then work also on some co-creation workshops and a European hackathon, and this will take place next year by the month of April 2023. And then we have this digital acceleration program that we call, that is basically the program that will provide this direct financial support to tourism SMEs. Concretely, we will be targeting 62 tourism SMEs located in the countries that where Tourbit is working, and the applications to access to these fundings will start next year as from January 2023. In order to get more information, please also join the Tourbit community so you will be able to follow all these updates. And here you have an overview on which are the organizations that are supporting Tourbit partnerships. So they are strengthening also our capacity, our knowledge, and also they will be in a way capitalizing the learnings that we will be having in the Tourbit project. I am not going to go through them because I know that time is short. So I will now give the floor back to Marit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sandra. And now, as Sandra introduced, we have very many technologies that we will look at what kind of possibilities they provide for tourism industry. And today we are discussing more deeply about augmented reality and virtual reality. And please, we have Jenny Janhunen from Finland introducing us about these possibilities and experiences. And Jenny, you have 15 minutes time, please. Floor
Yes.
is yours.
Thank you, Marit. Let me share my presentation. And here we go. Now you can see me and also hear me. Thank you for the invitation to come and share our experiences on from Lapland. I'm actually located now here in Rovaniemi, so greetings from the Lappish summer here. So I was asked to talk about the perspective of artificial reality and virtual reality, and that's something I really want to talk about today. So I'm talking from the perspective of a project that we had here. experience technologies in tourism, and especially from the perspective of SMEs in Lapland. So this is where my talk today is all about. Something about me. So my background is in tourism. I've been working a little bit over the world in different kinds of organizations, and also in developing tourism projects. And currently I'm working as a senior lecturer here in the University of Applied Sciences in Lapland. And my kind of background comes from the development of SMEs, especially experience design, digitalization, and today especially I'm working a lot of to do with this culture, tourism, and developing that also. But from the perspective of technologies, we have had the Lapland Experience Technologies 2025 project. It took place here in Lapland, and it took 15 months that we worked in this project with technologies such as virtual reality and augmented reality. The main goal of this project was to find out and further develop these experience technologies and how we can utilize them in SMEs, in tourism, and in the Lapland region. So this was a project that we worked together with the University of Lapland. What we actually started from was the fact that we wanted to put a human in the center of everything. So that's why we talk about experiences and in technologies. So we wanted to kind of start from there and define technology as a tool, as an player. So it can be a platform, software, device, application at any state of the business functions in the tourism company. So of course, now in my speech today, I'm more focusing maybe on the experience design and the services as such. But of course, you can utilize this in any function in the company. So experience technology, we define as tourism experiences that are co-created online, or experiences that have some aspect of technology embedded in them in some part of the service. So it can be before, it can be during the service, or after. So at any point of this customer journey, it can be some technology that we can kind of implement in there. And at this point, it would be nice to, I don't know how much time we have today, but for discussion and questions, but if we have a chat available, maybe it would be nice to kind of think about your region, or if you're an entrepreneur, what kind of technologies do you have in your company or region, and what is the state of using technologies in that region in tourism? Some things that we kind of found out during this project, and when we had a questionnaire and discussions with our entrepreneurs here, was that this definition of technology or experience technology, it was at some parts kind of overwhelming, or even that unknown what it is and what it means. For most parts still, which we're quite happy about, that this experience technologies is seen as a possibility to maybe get more earnings, or add more value for the customer, for example. But again, still there's a lot work to do in Lapland, especially to support our tourism entrepreneurs. It can be just holding hands kind of support, or financial support, good practices, examples. And I think these kind of webinars where we, at the end of the webinar, we have some examples, real life examples and case studies. We really provide for these entrepreneurs something to hold on to, and something maybe to implement on their own business. So I think these kind of things are really important. And some case examples that we did in this year and last year was, for example, these two. So we had one museum that we kind of used this low tech perspective, in that sense that we had the storytelling of this story of an elf on their website, and then they added this QR code, so quick response codes, on site, so the customer can kind of go there on their own and get this story in touch with their own experience. Also in the University of Lapland, this case study too, they made these prototypes of how to add value from these 360 live streams. So they had, for example, exhibition that they used these 360 videos and live streaming. Also in the museum that they kind of made a prototype of these virtual tours. So these kind of examples really give something for the entrepreneurs to kind of think, okay, could this be working in our company or in that region? So something that we discussed during the project was a little bit about this extended reality and what it actually means and how we can use it in tourism. And here I just put some things that we kind of determined on with our region is that, of course, we can kind of forget these physical restrictions, for example, or economical restrictions that we have. Especially in Finland, we have a huge focus in our strategic level in tourism for the sustainable travel. And this is something that we can actually kind of support with our developing this technology use in our companies. So this is one huge kind of point that we want to kind of add on. Of course, adding this value for the customer and also for the company. Today, marketing-wise, a lot of companies are using these technologies in marketing, for example, a destination. And of course, in some destinations in the world, there's over-tourism that we can kind of decrease with the help of technology. So this kind of why this is important. We need to also know how to tell this for our entrepreneurs, why this is quite important and what we can actually do with this tool or platforms in tourism. So today I was asked to focus on this R and VR, but of course this is something that we also had discussed quite a lot here, that what are these different aspects of this extended reality. And what we kind of talked about here, of course, this Pokemon Go is quite a known example of this augmented reality that we kind of, it doesn't really replace the real world environment, but still makes a change in the person's perception. But in the development in tourism, at least in Lapland, it's relatively recent that we use this. And it has a lot of potential still in the tourism sector. Of course, in the virtual reality perspective now, today we are hearing case examples from that as well, but a great example, what we have already or had a long time is Google Earth. But at the moment, I think this virtual reality, what we have determined is mostly used in marketing in tourism, but in the future it could be more utilized also in the experience design. And also for the COVID-19 has really shown us that a lot of these services or parts of it have kind of moved into online or the combination of online and on-site. So there's a huge potential, of course, in this as well. What we wanted to kind of talk to our entrepreneurs was that these technologies are available for tourism SMEs. Of course, now we're not talking about these expensive equipment and so on, but in this project, we wanted to kind of find out more these possibilities for revenue management, for example, how we can use sponsorships, for example, to get in touch with these platforms or technologies for small companies that don't really have the resources to buy them or learn how to use them. But there's a lot of these low-tech possibilities that we can kind of use in tourism as well. So new business models, new experiences, and modifying this customer journey by adding this value. For example, the tourist can kind of get to know the destination beforehand, and kind of we can add this value in this experience when they come there on site after they have already kind of got to know that. So kind of bringing this customer perspective, really focusing on that. And we talk a lot about this experience design in that sense. So I haven't added any videos here, but there's the links for these examples. But just to kind of let you know, we have quite a lot of these virtual tours that we have here in Finland, for example. But there's a lot of things that we can still improve in these, in the kind of the technical perspective in that sense. For example, here we have the Hunting Northern Lights with Eeva Mäkinen. So this is kind of a virtual interactive adventure that you can go online. So she's a photographer, and she's kind of explaining and telling for the viewer what's happening over there. So, and kind of teaching how to act, what to wear when you come to Lapland, or when you come to these extreme kind of like these destinations where you have to think about the weather and the season. So nice examples, but a lot to do. And especially now, this is not from Lapland, but this is a great example how you can kind of use virtual reality. For example, this is something in Australia that they are doing to teach children for bushfires and how to act. So I think this something like this could be used also in Finnish Lapland, when, for example, nature tourism is so huge here, and a lot of tourists go into the nature, but don't really know how to maybe act, or if they don't find their way and so on. So it can be kind of dangerous at times as well. So we can kind of utilize this to give the pre-information for the tourists. So great examples, of course. And going into the gaming sector, we can learn a lot from there, from these avatars and for example, Fortnite's live concerts that they do online. So we have a lot of possibilities and examples, but just kind of find the reason why we kind of use those. But of course, this is one of the biggest things that is the most important thing for us, is the value creation in the experience technologies. So the value for the guest. We cannot just do something and implement some technology without thinking what is the customer experience and why we are doing what we're doing. So keeping the person in the center in tourism is quite important. But also tourism entrepreneurs need to find new ways for revenue logic. So I think this great quote from one of the entrepreneurs in Lapland was that she was quite surprised how profitable it was that they changed and moved their services online. So this is something that these kind of examples that now step by step, they are also focusing on the customer journey more and more. But in the future, use of this extended reality for sure will grow in tourism, and especially in the marketing. So kind of these visiting destinations before traveling. But I think the one important and really interesting thing is also that in the future, people might even travel to places that they cannot travel otherwise. It can be like deep in the ocean, or places that don't even exist. So this is kind of interesting aspect as well. How do destinations and companies dissociate from each other? So I think with the extended reality, they can do that and kind of add this experience level in there, what they're doing. But a lot of possibilities in tourism. I think we are moving to the right direction, but we have a lot of things to do still. Most of the services are virtual tours, for example, our virtual reality, but there's a lot to do for sure. And I think this is something that we have been wanting to let our entrepreneurs in the Lapland region to know, that now it's a really great time to kind of test and learn, and then kind of move quickly to the next thing if we fail, and also capitalize the success. I think this is a great quote from McKinsey Quarterly. that we have kind of tried to adapt also here in Lapland. I'm running out of time closely, but this was very short, but something that we have kind of talked a lot about here in Lapland. And this is my message for this afternoon, and hopefully you got something from this, and if there is time for discussion and questions, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. And that was amazing to see how much possibilities there is in these technologies, and how much experience we already have in those sector about this. I think that we continue, and we will take a question at the end of this webinar. So please, Jenny, keep in line, and if there is a question, and everybody, if you have question, you can also put those chat, so we don't forget them. But now I think that we can continue, and we can give floor for Urška from Arctun and Slovenia. And please, you can introduce yourself and give us your use case experiences. Urška's voice was missing for me. Please, can you start? Can you hear me? Somehow.
The sound is very, very, very bad. We can barely hear you. It's like if you are underwater or something.
Yes, there is no voice at the moment. Maybe you can change voice options. No, it's muted now. It is muted now. Can you hear me now? It's very oral still. Please speak. Yes, I am speaking. Yes, but it's not very good.
It's weird because before it was working perfectly.
Now you can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
now.
no worries. Technology.
Yes, yeah. Always.
Sorry for that. Because before it was working, maybe So can you see my screen, I hope?
Great. Yes, we can.
Yes, here we go. So sorry for this delay.
It's okay.
Let me take the word now from this great presentation and show you what we are doing in Slovenia. Very shortly about me and our company. Actor is a 40 years old company, always dealing with high-tech innovation and all these future crazy things. We are owner of a private HPC, the supercomputer center. So it means if we deal with data, many data, we have them in-house. So this helps us and make us possible to play and do many wonderful things. We have been gaining experiences in many different EU and international projects dealing with Industry 4.0, where we learned how to deal with these complex, expensive technologies and how to bring them to SMEs. And about 4 years ago, we were wondering where can we share these experiences, and this is how we bumped actually into tourism. And the idea was, again, this experience of bringing these technologies to small, like mid-sized enterprises, to small players. We are running many different projects, but the main focus is maybe a little bit upgraded from the vision, putting human in the center. What we do, like the first, let's say the founding stone of Tourism 4.0 is we bring the quality of life of local residents, local community in the center, and all the rest around it. So all the other stakeholders, because we believe if we want to build sustainable tourism, we have to put really the quality of life of local community in the center. So whatever we develop, respect this. And very, very shortly about the importance of heritage and using heritage in tourism here in Europe, because of course Pokemons are interesting, but why Pokemons? We have so many wonderful stories and heritage, and this is what we want to do. I want to show you today, inspire you to use this heritage, because investing in cultural heritage and in heritage tourism has like many different economic, social, educational, cultural impact. So it's not only this financial, it's really many dimensions. And using heritage as a source in tourism, you know, we are using these roots because we are living one way, you know, we have one in physical world, but the young generations are already in this hybrid digital world. And we want, like, this mission is really to bring these roots in this new reality and give the heritage a second life, like a new life to really last and like find and refine itself in this new reality. So using these authentic stories and really all the advantages of new technology. So it means why why digital technologies? Because we can add so many different values and find new engaging ways. So good reasons to digitize is attracting new audiences, preserve the heritage in digital world, increase interactivity, access, then manage also the flows, because we can create new tourist spots and deal with this over tourism. Or maybe during COVID, it's not about over tourism, but you know, people want not to be in places where there are too many persons, so we can spread the flows and create, of course, also new opportunities for creative industries. I will show you one example of one initiative in Slovenia, of which we are really, really proud of, with the mission that Slovenia would become the leading European country in digital enriched experience of tourism. So it means not only digitize, so not only make 3D models, but create new tourist experiences out of it. As I said before, to bring these roots in new experiences in this hybrid reality. So it was a call from Ministry of Economic Development and Technologies, and all leading destinations, tourist destinations in Slovenia, got fundings to digitize at least 3 examples of immovable cultural heritage and make out of it at least one tourist experience. And really the goal was this development of new tourism products and engage new audiences and contribute to interpretations, awareness raising, and documentation of immovable cultural heritage. So see how these innovations bring, like, let's say, boring, you know, heritage somewhere and put new technologies and try to create something new out of it. And now I want to share you, just 1 second. I will switch to video to really give you an idea what happens then around Slovenia with this initiative. So as I said, the mission was really to pave the way with this vision to bring cultural heritage in this this hybrid reality. So 3D models, each destination, and at least one new tourist experience out of it. So all around the country, Slovenia is a beautiful country, so everyone is welcome to visit this. We have like very different arts of tourist destinations, from the mountains. Here you can see the process of creating high-level, high-quality 3D models, because we have set standards in the cities. This is then industrial heritage, castles and all the classical, let's say, heritage that we all know about. Which gives the possibility to make reconstructions of the castles that are not existing or just partly existing today. at the seaside, under the sea. So as I said, all possible like ways and different landscapes. And here you can see the results. So how many different possibilities the technology gives us to create these new experiences. Interactive tables, VR, augmented reality, object recognition. So access to places that are not accessible for the audiences, for example. This is object recognition tables, which gives them possibility to add many more information then about the destination and all possible apps. We have been supporting this with trainings and workshops because we know that the skills are missing, and develop, the whole, and also worked from European Commission already, develop all, the concept how to approach these new ideas and how to bring them into reality. And now, as you've already seen in the video, I will show you just a little bit more of examples that are now like around Slovenia. This is from e-castle of Posavje, which then, as a, let's say, as attraction, developed digital room in a spa resort. So imagine you are in a spa, and after a day or two, you have enough of being in the water, kids want to go a little bit around. So this room, you can see that so many young persons then come here, see these castles, and want parents to bring them there. Otherwise, they would not be interested in heritage around there. Then example of mysteries of submerged villages in Šaleška Dolina, Šalek Valley. This is, as I said, this is the experience. During the experience, the tourist gets the glasses, virtual reality, and see this is not a real but construction of the city under the water. In this experience, for example, the person, let's say the user, is not allowed to move on his or her own, because it's sitting in the boat. But this is another example of virtual reality here at the Idria Mercury Heritage Management Center, where the user can move around because there is no danger that falling in the water and so on. So it means creating these experiences is very, very important, really, to go into the experience and see how to make it safe, how to make it interesting, what are to take into account all the dimensions of and taking out really the advantages of technology without going into danger and so on. So just showing you so many examples of different possibilities that can be developed. So I hope that I inspired you with this initiative from Slovenia. Feel free to contact us, feel free to join Tourism 4.0 partnership, where we share these experiences, and I hope that you can use this in your daily life, like these inspirations. Thank you for the floor.
Thank you, Urska. There were also very, very great examples about utilizing this augmented reality and virtual reality. Great. Thank you. We can also discuss about your program at the end of the webinar. And now I think that we can give floor for Simon Katz, and he can also introduce a little bit more, maybe about the training and other experiences. Please, Simon.
Yes, thank you. So I'll share my screen. So can you hear me and see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Perfect. Okay, so oh, I don't know, my computer is having a problem. Okay. Okay, well, first of all, thanks for inviting me. So my name is Simon Katz, and I work at the company One Bonsai. So first of all, I'll give a very quick introduction about One Bonsai, who we are, and what we do. Then I'll talk about 3 teams. I don't have much time, so I'll keep it very concise. So first, it will be about virtual tours, but we already talked about that in other presentations, so that's good. Then virtual reality training. Then that's also like more our expertise at One Bonsai. So I'll talk a bit more about that. And then obviously the metaverse, the big hype at the moment, I'll explain a little bit the opportunities there and what it means. So One Bonsai, we are a software development company. We've been active 6 years in many different sectors. We're active globally. We work with all kind of companies. And yes, so like I said, we're experts in virtual reality trading solutions. So just a quick overview of the vertical sectors where we are active. So you can see healthcare, medical sector, logistics, retail, and we work as well with police and firemen, military, and all this for training purposes. This is a quick slide about our path as a company. So as you see, first we started with hackathons, workshops, proof of concepts, very small projects, and then yeah, it started to take off, working with companies like Deleuze, which I will talk about some use cases about, the police, the military, Securitas to make fire trainings, Nike. We delivered a project for Nike as well in the logistics sector, and so on. And now today we're making our own products. We call it products. It's like more general trainings, yes, which can be used in many companies. Like because yeah, just maybe the next slides. So these are the 2 paths. The company Walks is the custom project, so in very close cooperation with a client, with the experts from the field, we make training for them. And at the other side, we have these off-the-shelf VR solutions that are yes, ready to use.
Excuse me, Simon.
Yes.
The slides is not Shane.
The slides are not changing?
Yes, they are not changing. It's the first one is shown all the time.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. I see indeed is sharing post, bring your shared window to the front. Let me see. Yeah, I click resume sharing, but nothing is happening. Okay, I'll just try to start sharing again.
Yes, try again, yes.
Okay, thanks for letting me know.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, about virtual tours. Great. Yes, and now it's Shane. Great.
Okay.
Working. Okay,
okay,
good.
so well, the slides were not that important anyway, so now it's more important to show you something. So yes, I'll start about virtual tours. So I'll explain a little bit about, but we already had explanation about virtual tours in the previous presentations. I explained the advantages, maybe a bit about the technology, and then some use cases. So virtual tours, I think it's clear for everyone, but very quickly, a virtual tour is an immersive video. It's a video that's been recorded in every direction. So you, as a viewer, you get really a sense of presence when watching that video. It's interesting to make a difference between 360 video and 3D video, because for the viewer it's the same. It's the same. Well, you can watch it at the same way. Sorry, but the use case is kind of different. So let's start with 360 video, and this is actually a use case for Deleuze. Deleuze is a big store, a grocery shopping store in Belgium. And what they did here is actually, so together with a partner, we made a video for them, and it was to show at their event where a lot of their affiliates were there. So they made a new distribution center. And it's very new, very automated, and there were a lot of problems as well. So, and all the affiliates, the people that have shops like with the name of Deleuze and that get the products from there, they were getting pretty mad because there were like delays and all of these things. They could not understand why it was so hard to deliver on time, for example. And then at this event, it's actually, so I was part of this event, and for like 3 days, I put VR headsets on people, their face, with this video that you can see on the right. Like it's just some screenshots, but yes, because videos on webinars not always the best. But anyway, like what happened, what was shown in this video was the whole process of a bottle of water going through this whole distribution center just to the store, basically. And it was funny to see that these people, I talked with them and I was like, yes, this is a new distribution center of Deleuze. And they're like, oh yeah, this thing is very bad. It doesn't work. It's slow. It's always, and then after watching a 4-minute video where they did the whole process, they came out of it and they were like, wow, okay, now I understand. It's really amazing how complicated this all is. And so yes, basically the use case of this 360 video was to visualize something complex and make it easy to understand, and also like for most people overcome this resistance to change, because then now they have a better understanding of they were part of the story. So that's for 360 video. It was an interesting use case. The technology used for 360 video. So very quickly, this is on the left, you see what a camera looks like. This is a camera with 6 different cameras. So it shoots in every direction. And on the right, you see the software, how all these 6 images come together and stitch together to have one image that you can then look around in. So for the 3D video, so like I said, it's the same for the user. It is the same. You put the VR headset on and you can watch everywhere around you. But what's the big difference? Was the use of having 3D? It's to show environments that don't exist yet. So this again was for Deleuze, the same shop, and the use case was really that they had to convince management to change the design. So we were asked by Deleuze to showcase this new store design, and this VR visualization was as well shown to their affiliate store holders at a flagship event. So, and yes, the conclusion is that this video convinced management to change. And you see on the second screen, like the stores were very tall and now they're very small, and it's something that, I don't know, it's not only this, but this was one of the major changes. And something like this, it's very hard to see on plans, and when you put a VR headset on, you just see it. So that's how they convince management. The technology here is very different. We are not shooting with the camera, obviously. Everything is in Unreal Engine, a software program where you have our 3D artists modeling everything. So now maybe a use case that's a bit more linked to the tourist sector. So Club Med 360. Club Med is known for being excellent at communicating. Their marketing is really good. They were always the first pioneers in like amazing GoPro shots and everything. And so now it's not it's obvious that they're also pioneers in using this new technology. And so they're leading digital campaigns to promote the holiday resorts. And here it's also, so it's in 360 with 360 video. It's like the first use case I showed you. And for them, it's like really try your vacation before booking it, which is pretty awesome. So you can already be in the vacation mode before you even start. And yes, so those videos are available to watch on YouTube 360, which is not the same as if you would watch it with a VR headset, but obviously not many people have VR headsets available today. So it's a very good start, and they can show it to many people. And for them, obviously, why would they do that is to stand out from their competition and to achieve this wow effect, and that you're like, you're in the Maldives here on the pictures. And so the screenshots I'm showing you here is actually one that's in front and the other one that's behind, so you can have an idea of, okay, this is gonna be my room, this is gonna be my view, and okay, what what do you do next? It's like book, obviously. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about virtual reality, but more for the learning and training aspect. So it's a bit the same structure here. I'll talk what it is, the advantages, a bit about technology and some use cases. So virtual reality training, it has a lot of benefits. I mean, so basically any physical workspace can become a training environment, and that increases your training capacities and and obviously with VR you can learn in a safe and efficient way. So we see with virtual reality training, we can clearly see an increase in the learning retention. Why is that? Is because when you do things yourself, so with VR training, we kind of show people how they do it, and they have to do it themselves. And when you do something yourself, you retain it better than if you would just listen to someone, watch a PowerPoint, watch a video. So doing it yourself, it's important. We see a clear shift with VR from classical education to individual education. So this is also like a benefit, because everyone can learn at his own pace instead of just being in a classroom. You miss something, then you're lost, and everything here, every step is explained, and if you don't execute it, you cannot go to the next step. We see a lot of reduction in time as well to train compared to the traditional training methods. Why is that? Is because as well, all the logistic part is handled, like you just have VR headsets in a room, and then yeah, just people, the VR headset becomes the teacher. So you just go there, you can go 24 hours, 7 on 7. There is a headset available, you can just train. And then yes, you basically enhance team decision making, workplace safety, and collaboration. When everyone did exactly the same training and they all did it, then obviously everyone knows what to do and you have a better collaboration. And VR, it's environmentally friendly, of course, because you don't have to travel and all these other things that are not good for the environment. So this is one of the use cases that we developed as a company. So we were asked to make this to prepare staff for big events, so for festivals, sporting events, parades. And yes, basically it's a fun learning experience. You can learn at your own pace, like I said, and you have a better retention. So I don't know with the videos if you can see, but this is a bit how VR training is made. It's like you come at a situation, you have a choice, you have to do a couple of actions, and so on and so on and so on. And on the second screenshot, you can see like how it is in real life. Yeah, you have the trainer following, or on a computer or on a tablet, and yes, our whole system is so that we can do it even remote, because you can talk through the tablet, you can talk to the person in VR, and you can see what he's doing. For the business case, it's interesting because using virtual reality, you can make sure that the knowledge transfer happened correctly, because everything is digital. So obviously you can check that, and I will show you how just after. It reduced training costs by a lot. You invest once, and then you have this training that's just that you can like scale to so many people. And in a sector, especially like when I think about the tourism sector, for example, hotels and other places where you have like people coming in, having to be trained very fast, and leaving as well after 1 or 2 years, maybe, VR can be a really good solution, because you have a very good handling of the employee turnover rate. You can we can always train new people and in a very efficient way. Next screenshot. Yes. So the technology, well, we saw this in the other presentations as well. It's just a VR headset and controllers that mimic your hands. So this is still a bit challenging sometimes today, that we see people struggling with those controllers. That's why most of the trainings we make are very simple. And so you see the button this girl is pressing is just one button to basically close your hands, and this way we can interact with all the objects that are needed. And on the left you see the illustration. This is like on a most of our trainings are made for like 2 square meters, so we can we have a lot of clients that have big places where they can train up to 10 people together at the same time, so very efficient. And then last part of this VR training is the online platform we built. So why is this so interesting for us to have this, and for our clients as well, is because everything that happens in VR, all this data, it comes into this online platform. And then for the client, he can basically visualize, okay, this person did this training, this person is at 50%, and so on and so on. And we can visualize. And for the more safety trainings, we give like, okay, your company is 80% safe. Why? Because 80% of your people like did all of these trainings. And so for HR and yeah.
Okay, thank you, Simon. I have to interrupt you because our time is going, and I think that because of our time slot is going end, so
Okay,
I'm
no
sorry.
problem.
I'm sorry.
No problem. The last part was about the metaverse and was very short either way, so it's not that important. So yes, thank you for listening to me, and I can answer any questions as well after in the Q&A.
Yes, and thank you, Simon, and also thank you for everyone of our presenters here. I think that we have only 2 minutes time. How I think so. So I assume that we don't have time for questions, but please, it's great if you can join our Tourbit's community. You can meet there each others, and you can share your things and to get some news about this community. And there will be also the recording of this webinar available in this community. And here at the end, you can see what kind of webinars there is upcoming, as Sandra introduced in the beginning of this webinar. I'm really sorry that we couldn't discuss more about these very interesting presentations and your great examples and ideas about how to benefit and how to get added value for tourism sector about this augmented reality and virtual reality technologies. Thank you all very much participating in this webinar. Thank you.